All right. I don't even know what this music is, but I like it. It's called Into Space. I picked it because that's what it was called, Into Space. And here we are, kind of in a... This behind me looks completely different behind the camera, the other camera. That's the upside down. If you're a Stranger Things fan. Might look familiar. What's Up Wenatchee is broadcasting from the Time Capsule today. And they are ready for Halloween, guys. You can come on down. They've got this photo op. You could sit on the couch, step into the upside down at our brand new Stranger Things themed photo op. Gather your crew, decked out in your gnarliest 80s gear or epic Stranger Things cosplay, and get ready for the ultimate Halloween snap. Share your spine-tingling moments with us, and let's turn your feed into Hawkins, Indiana this Halloween. Cool. I love that the Time Capsule always does fun stuff like that. Santa, that's why Santa comes here every Christmas season. This is the spot to be. And this is not our first time broadcasting from here. We'd like to come and visit every now and then. My name is Nikki Darling. Thanks for being with us on this week's episode of What's Up Wenatchee. Got a fun episode ahead of us today. Not only are we in one of our funnest places, there's nothing but retro nostalgia feelings when you walk in here. I mean, that's what they're here for. It's a retro gaming store, and here in the back where I am, they have a little arcade party event space that you can rent out, but they have arcade games that you might hear as the show goes on over and over and over again. But they have these TVs, and you might be able to see, no, probably not. Maybe I could, there they are, the TVs. That on the bigger TV is, okay, Christina Ricci movie via 1990s era, my personal favorite Christina Ricci era. That looks like, oh, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Pullman? Something Pullman. You would know him if you saw him. Is her dad? There's ghosts. Any guesses? You can put it in the comments. I might be able to see it. One of my favorites. Oh, and okay, I can't say the name of the character because the name of the character is the name of the movie. But the boy, young man, preteen. Okay, the preteen boy who voices the main ghost in this 1990s, the 1990s heartthrob, I should say, who voices the ghost, the main ghost, was Devin Sawa, if you remember that. He was one of my faves back in the day with like the bowl cut. Yes. Hi guys. Welcome in. So today is Friday. Yes, you made it. You made it to Friday. Welcome. It's such a good vibe today. Do people feel like it's a good vibe? And it's going to be a good weekend. I've got a karaoke gig tomorrow night up in Crescent Bar. I am looking forward to that. I've been practicing in my car. My poor kid, it has to listen to me. Woo! He has to listen to me sing. And I don't host karaoke because I'm a good singer, which is why most people host karaoke. I host karaoke because I love music. I actually love singing, even though I'm not a good singer. And I just love how music gathers people together. It's the great uniter, right? It's a great connector. Music. So, and oddly enough, being a not great singer, I mean, I find my songs that are within my range, but being a not great singer helps people get up there and feel more comfortable. Be like, oh, she can get up there and do it. And Bill, oh, thank you, Grayson, Bill Pullman. See, I wasn't off. Bill Pullman, Christina Ricci. You got it. Casper. Casper is the name of the movie. And was I right? Devon Sawa is the name of Casper in that movie. Was not incorrect. Grayson, I miss you. And you're not here, obviously, again this week. I hope you are convalescing and feeling better. But hey, look, I saw your comment. It came through. It looked like it came through YouTube. So that's promising. We know that I'm seeing your YouTube comments. It's not a perfect science, this commenting. It says you can't post comments to some destinations, which I think means I can't see comments from all the destinations. And that's very frustrating for me. We're going to continue to try and fix that. I'm keeping this up on the screen just because it looks really cool, but that's where our guests are going to be sitting today. And you can see Casper playing in the background. Can you see Twitch? Yes, I can see Twitch. Well, I can see your Twitch. Okay, look. There you are. There's your YouTube. There, I put it on Facebook first. Well, I don't see your Facebook, but I can see your Twitch. There you go. No Facebook. Bummer, bummer. Chicken. Bummer. Yeah. So our guests today, we have 2, maybe 3. That's always how we roll on what's up, Wenatchee. It's that kind. That's how I grew up in an Italian household. So it's like, hey, stop by if you can. We'll have a coffee cake ready for you. At our house is not usually coffee cake. It's usually what would be the equivalent of coffee cake that we always have. You know what? I'm not gonna say it on the air. But we usually have some kind of food ready for you. So we have, am I right in saying we have Nancy Barrett from Class with a Glass is going to stop by with us today to talk and reflect on her experience from Swap Meet. She was one of our very first people when I was like, hey, let me stop by and tell you about this thing. And she was like, okay, what do you got? Oh yeah, here she is. She just walked in. And she went, okay, yeah, I'm in. Like she's always in for like Nikki's crazy ideas. So we'll reflect on what was going through her mind in reality at that point, and see what else is going on over at Class with a Glass. And then also Rachel Evey from the Wenatchee Valley College Foundation is going to stop by. They have a big event tonight over at the college, food truck night. And if anybody knows how or what's involved in putting together an event like that with food permits and truck and what's not a truck and what's a this and what's a that, that was me. So because we just went through with me, so I want to see how she's holding up, and I know that they have quite a few food trucks expected for tonight, and I said, hey, I have time for you. I know it's really hectic. Do you think you can swing on by? And she goes, yes, I will be there. And I was like, yeah, I love it. So she's going to stop by. And the maybe three, if you can believe it or not, is the owners of the Time Capsule. They are so gosh darn busy with their own stuff today that they're like, maybe we'll be able to stop in the interim and sit down with you. So if we see them, we'll grab them, but maybe not. But if not today, we'll always get a chance to talk to them at some other point. So just want to remind everybody that we are a fully community supported broadcast. We do this every Friday live. And a little bit later on today's broadcast, I've got a big announcement about something that's going to be coming up for the next month, the next 4 weeks of the What's Up Wenatchee live broadcast. So stay tuned. I'll have that announcement maybe in the next half hour after we speak with Nancy. And if you want to support us, it's very easy to get involved. We have an interactive text line at 509-795-5602. And it seems like our comment section through YouTube and Twitch are working and interactive right now. If you want to be part of our subscription community, you can do that through Supercast at www.supercast.com. That WW stands for What's Up Wenatchee. Or you can find out about all of our podcasts and all of our services and podcast production services. We people just like you help you produce a podcast about whatever you are passionate about. So darlingproductionswa.com to learn a bit more about that. And I'm going to put up the ticker on the bottom about the Numerica Festival of Trees karaoke competition. The registration is going to be coming up this week. I will talk about that more in length a little bit later. But first, we we don't want to make her wait, have to get on and talk with Miss Nancy. So please, Miss Nancy, come and join me. I know that couch was probably really comfy, wasn't it? Yeah. This is a little bit different from your studio, isn't it?
It is, but it's creative.
And that is the common denominator and the thing that you lead with.
That's right.
Yeah. You lead with creativity in your heart. And I love that about you.
Thanks. As well as you. You are super creative as well. And it's probably why I always just say, yeah, I'm in.
And you did with Swamp Meet.
Yeah.
So thank you. I have to tell you, oh man. So last week, I had Joel,
yes,
Myrene from the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo, which is coming up on the 21st of October. So just a few more weeks until that's happening. But he was on the show to kind of recap what it was like for him. And he remembers. He didn't remember. He was like, I don't even remember where this idea came from. And I was like, yeah, you probably wouldn't because it was so random. We were up at the Pangbourne Festival flight up at the airport.
Okay.
And I was working it. I was like in my full on vintage getup. He was there with his kid. And it was one of those things. He stopped by and I was just talking Swap Meet to everybody at that point.
Right.
And so it was just on my brain all the time. And I just was like, oh, what could I do with old vinyl records that nobody wants? Oh, yeah, I know what and it was like, he saw it happen at that moment, in that moment. And was like, literally the next day I came to you and talked to you. It was so early on in the swap meet process. So early. And I didn't know a lot of details about, like, granular details about swap meet, but I came to you anyway because I've gone through this process with you before where I didn't really know a lot of granular details about an idea. And I went, I kind of have this idea.
Yeah. How can we make it happen?
Yeah. Can you maybe fill in some details?
Sure.
Or do you think it's dumb? But you would say it much nicer than that, I think.
Let's rethink this, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a great idea. Painting on those vinyl records was just unique. And, you know, several kids who painted on those at the swap meet have never even seen one. So it was fun.
They never seen a vinyl record?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
So that was awesome to be able to use those as surfaces to paint on, number one, just because it was a unique, different idea. And I had great success that day. I had about 40 people stop by. Of course, they were able to pay $0 in order to paint on those donated vinyls, because that's what it was about. Just having community come together, have fun, spend the day outside and enjoy.
Well, because you came and donated not just like the supplies, you know, physical, tangible supplies are one thing, but there's like effort involved, you know, for us to even get to that point.
Right.
There were, okay, how are we going to do this? Because when you do it at your studio is one thing. There's tables that are already there.
Right.
There's certain stuff that are already there.
Well, I have to give credit to my husband and my daughter. They helped haul in the tables and the paint brushes and all that, and they were there that day, just helping some kids, you know, have fun painting.
And going on the road is not too par off the course for you. You're used to it.
A lot of offsite events. Yeah, I have been now for the last several months. I mean, couple of years actually. And
I get the wineries and
we're going up to Chelan. We go to Leavenworth, tasting rooms. It's been really great. It all started with Haran Estates Winery Tasting Room. I'll be honest, right here in Wenatchee.
Yeah.
They're the ones who we met a few years ago over lunch and said, how could we combine forces? And that sort of planted the seed. And then we've kind of run with it from there, as well as having classes right in my studio as well here on Mission Street. So it's fun.
Because you have the name Class with a Glass, and it's also Class Without a Glass, but there's Class with like a juice glass for kids, right?
I mean, we do have soda pop and we have tea and coffee. It doesn't have to be for, you know, the wine and beer crowd. I mean, honestly, that's been one of the things as business owner that I have had to kind of educate the public about. People have actually said to me, well, I can't come to a class because I don't drink. And I've really wanted to let people know, hey, we are not about drinking. We're about having fun and spending quality time together, and you can have a beverage of your choice.
And ironically, when I don't know, whatever it was, a year and a half ago, when we were talking about doing karaoke events there, we were having the opposite conversation of, we don't want it to get too rowdy. Like, this isn't that kind of place.
Right.
So, it's like, you can't win sometimes.
Or like, you can always win.
Oh, you can always win.
Let's look at it that way, because
I love your attitude.
I think it's true. I really like to be able to diversify and have anyone. That's why my sign says art for all ages. I want people to feel comfortable no matter who they are. And to know they can come in and enjoy some time. And I like to accommodate people's preferences.
Yeah. And the other thing was you register people for your classes. This was another kind of hurdle that we were going through. They were like, are we going to register people for this class at the swap meet?
Right.
Or is it going to be a walk-up thing? Is it going to be an instructed thing? Are they going to be able to do it free form? So I honestly, Nancy, I don't know what you ended up doing because I never made it over there to see the class.
From the minute we set up our tables and pulled out our brushes and put some vinyl records up on easels, people just started showing up, and I had about 8 painting stations that we just kept rotating people through the entire 2 hour. I think I was there 2.5 hours. We just kept rotating people through. When a spot opened up, someone popped in and started painting. So it just organically worked.
And did they have things that they were painting from, like examples they were painting from? I had some
examples. I had created a donut, a pink iced donut with sprinkles, anything round I could think of. I painted some examples, had a big bite out of that one. And I had a ladybug on a leaf, and I had a pizza. Of course, you got to have pizza, right? And
I want that one.
So I had those set up as examples. But you know what? Kids are so intuitively creative on their own. They just went for it. They just know what they wanted to do, and it worked. It worked.
Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
I love that, because not all of my ideas work. You have seen a few of my ideas that have struggles.
Oh, well, I think your podcasting world is working, and that's your calling. So it's
you.
Good. Yeah.
Thank
I
you
do
so
have
much.
to put a little pitch in about these records, though. One more thing I want to say.
Yeah.
So I've been doing another homeschool series for little kids, for kids from age 7 to 13. And I had some extra vinyls after the swap meet. And so for our first class with these 13 homeschool kids, that's what we painted. We painted on those vinyl records. And again, they loved it. I have one that has a unicorn on it, and I have one that, I don't know, all kinds of wonderful creations. So having those vinyl records donated, I really appreciated being able to put that to use for other classes. And I still have a few more. So who knows where we'll put them to use.
I still have a whole trunk load.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know if you knew that, but but Joel was very, very, very generous with
so good.
His donation. So we have to say thank you to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. Because I have plans, right? We're going to be doing lots of paint on vinyl for like throughout the next year with you.
Okay.
If you're okay with that. Like I already have one, you already know I have one event planned with you, but I've got several that I want to do throughout the year just to keep people thinking about Swap Meet, excited about it. So, and of course you're going to be my gal.
Okay. I'm here.
All right. What else is going on? It's ever changing by you.
That
via season, I think.
Right. I think it's via season, and just wanting to kind of meet the needs of the community, as well as I'm a creative person and I like to do things. I like to change it up. So one of the things that we've introduced is what is called Family Craft Day. That's happening every Saturday morning from 9 to 11:30. I, again, do prefer people to register on my website at classwithaglass.com for that. But it is a different kind of structure where families come in, and I will have 3 particular projects that are simple and ones that you can sit down at a table in our living room and do together as a family. It's $15 a person. Choose a craft and enjoy some time. If they choose craft A, then I'll have the kit ready. I'll hand it to them, and they get to go find their spot and just spend time creating together. So we are excited about launching that every Saturday morning from 9 to 11:30 is what we're targeting. And this is something that littler kids could come to. I often will have people asking, "Hey, can I bring my 4-year-old or 5-year-old to a class?" Sometimes that's a bit challenging because our classes are 2 hours long or more, and that's a long time for a little one to sit. But for this Family Craft Day, you know what? Mom and dad can help their child work through a project at their pace, and it's going to be a quality project.
Yeah, that does sound really, really cool. I like that.
Thank you.
What can you give some examples of the crafts?
It's all on my website right now. Well. But you know what? We have one that looks like an apple, and it's on a plate that you paint, and then you do some weaving with yarn, and it ends up looking like an apple. It's really cute. And of course, painting rocks. That's one that we'll always have. Another one is painting a canvas where people will mask the surface of the canvas with some painter tape to make the outline like the trunk of a tree, and then they'll paint around that. Again, very simple, very user-friendly projects that families can just jump in. And, if some single person wants to come, all the better. It is not limited to families, but it is called Family Craft Day.
Yeah, sure. I think that's really important. I sometimes go, I probably should be doing more like artsy, I call it artsy fartsy or crafty, and stuff with Trenton. And sometimes you just go, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then Google or Pinterest.
Sure.
And then it's overwhelming. And
it's
like go to Hobby Lobby and pick up, it's so simple. These 17 things from Hobby Lobby and I'm like, what?
Right. So that's really what we're trying to do, is eliminate all of that hassle and have people walk in the door. We have a kit to hand you. Our projects will rotate every week. So there will be a fresh one every Saturday, and we'll do all the setup. We'll do all the cleanup, and the supplies are there. So it's really a great deal. I think it's taking a bit to catch on, but I have a feeling that the beautiful weather we're experiencing right now may be our competition, because people are still outside on the weekends enjoying, hiking and biking and all the fun stuff. But we're really hopeful that this will kind of catch some attention.
Sure. Yeah. Well, everything new takes a little bit of time to
That's the truth.
catch on, does it not? Yeah. Anything else besides Family Craft Day?
We have 6 more sessions of our current homeschooler series. That will finish mid-October. The homeschooler series that we are currently hosting right now is on Mondays and Wednesdays. We are switching gears come October 18th, and we will be doing the same series but with fresh art projects on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for those families who couldn't make it on Mondays and Wednesdays, come on over, sign up, check out the details on my website, classwithaglass.com. The really exciting thing about my homeschool series this time around is that I am collaborating with Carrie Grosh, who is a professional vocalist in town. She's been doing some gigs around town. She's a dear friend of mine, and she does private voice lessons at Class with the Glass with people of all ages. So Carrie and I have collaborated and created a lesson plan where kids during the homeschool series, they come and they spend a half with me doing art. They have a 15-minute lunch break, and then they go into the living room with Carrie for music class. And they're developing a choir. It's a choir
cool.
is actually happening, and it's really, really fun. So at the end of the series, they'll have a performance for their family and friends. And of course, the gallery showcase where all of their beautiful art projects will be able to be viewed and appreciated. So
somehow you need to incorporate the two together, like the music I know you play music while you paint, but like somehow incorporate doing the two at the same time.
Yeah, we are talking about it.
One affects the other, and this one affects this one. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't. No.
But of course, we also have our general sessions. Those are the classes that are open to the public. And those are ones that are typically known as a sip and paint style class. Usually happens on Thursday, Fridays, Saturday evenings from 6:30 to 9. And that's where we do the step-by-step instruction for our painting.
That's always good.
That we offer. It's always fun. And we have great locally crafted beverages, non-alcoholic, as well as wine, beer, and cider, of course. And it's just, again, a fun time for people to come learn some painting skills and techniques, and 2.5 hours later, walk out the door with their own masterpiece in hand, and maybe some new friendships developed along the way too.
And you don't have to be a painter.
Beginners,
you don't have
beginners
to be,
are welcome and encouraged. And very often I have I always ask, who feels like you haven't been here ever, and maybe you haven't painted since first grade? And I usually have about 50% of every class raise their hands. So,
well, I went with Ryan, my husband.
Yeah.
We were just like still early on.
Right.
I think maybe Trenton was born. He was
Yes,
still
he was
a baby.
little, little guy.
Yeah, itty bitty.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just a baby.
Mhm.
And we went for a Christmas party, and Ryan does not do artsy fartsy. And he came and he painted, and he actually put aliens,
like a UFO or something in the
but
guy.
But that was so memorable for him of an experience. He still talks about it. Every time I bring up you or your name or Nancy or Class with a Glass, which is often because we're friends outside of this.
Right.
And he's like, Nancy, he's like, oh yeah, you remember that time I painted the UFOs in the sky? And I was like, yes, I know.
Bring him back, Nikki. Bring him back.
Well,
paint another painting.
His mom actually is a really great artist.
Oh.
She paints.
Okay.
She painted. She normally likes to do watercolors.
Oh yeah.
But I think she gave me a painting for my birthday, which was just in September.
Oh yeah.
And it's not watercolor. I'm pretty sure it's acrylic.
Okay.
But it's really cool because it's got this bright yellow background.
Nice.
And she's like, it's bright yellow. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. She's like, yeah, I thought of you.
Good.
She's like, I figured you would like it because it's
bright.
A
happy color.
Yeah.
Aww, that's awesome.
So yeah, and I love it because I love trees and symbolism of trees, and so it fits in.
Special handmade gifts are the best,
right?
Can't go wrong.
But I keep telling her she should come teach some watercolor classes.
Well, let's get connected. Let's get her plugged in.
Right.
I do offer watercolor classes, by the way.
So I know. Oh, I took one.
Yes, you did. So I have an amazing, and she is really a talented artist, a talented watercolorist, as well as brush lettering is kind of her real passion. And she comes in and teaches at least once a month, and those classes of hers sell out. So yeah, our watercolor classes are definitely a thing that we love, and I think we'll be offering maybe more than once a month just because of the response we're getting.
I showed Cheryl, my mother-in-law, my watercolor of my sunset,
right?
With
the lighthouse.
Yeah, and she said I did good. I was like, oh, okay.
And most of all, you had fun, right?
Yeah. I paint like I sing, which is just mediocre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I do it anyway because I have a great time. With a lot of gusto. So if you're gonna do it, you gotta do 100%.
Just come on, let's try it
out.
out.
Joel is on here. He says, so excited to hear about the homeschool class also using the records.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, it couldn't have happened without you, Joel.
Oh, thanks, Joel. Oh, see, and watch. He's watching the podcast. Nice. How nice.
Very good.
Nancy, I could talk to you forever.
It's always fun. My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
You look great.
Oh, thanks.
I think purple is, or violet, lilac is, I don't know.
Whatever.
This lighting back here is very weird.
I'm so glad to wear a scarf again. My favorite season. I can bundle up.
Please. I already have like 7 layers on.
Yeah.
I don't like the cold. Hot. All right. We'll talk. I'm gonna host another party at your studio very soon.
I look forward to seeing you again. Okay. Thanks, Nikki.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, no, don't go. I'm going to keep this up just because it's fun to look at this, the Stranger Things background, is it not? I do need my notes, though. Oh, I see Rachel coming in. So great. This will be perfect. She'll just kind of come in. We'll go right into talking about food truck night. But coming up after I talk with Rachel, I was kind of teasing that I have something special that's going to be going on for the next 4 weeks of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast live show. And I'll be announcing that a little bit later on. And if you see on the bottom, the scrolling information, Darling Productions is going to be hosting Numerica Festival of Trees Christmas karaoke competition. And that will be a fundraiser for the Numerica Performing Arts Center. And I'll have all the details on what it is, how you can get involved, because registration opens this week, October 3rd. It's a lot of fun. And I'll be producing the show. This has been my dream for, other than Swap Meet, this has been my dream for years. All right, Miss Rachel, I see you. Yeah, this way, I think, or that way. Pretty lady, doesn't matter. Just come sit with me in my chair.
Hello.
Yes, Miss Rachel Evey.
Evey, like the Pokemon.
Oh, yes, the E, but not spelled the same.
No, definitely not.
The Wenatchee Valley College Foundation has a big event tonight. In a few hours. It is. So how in the world did you sneak away where you're like, I just need a nap?
Well, I couldn't resist final promotion for food truck night. So here I am.
Thank you. Thank you for just taking the time, because I was like, this is such a cool thing that they're doing. You know, I wanted to be involved like last year. I was like, let's get involved. Let's get me involved with food truck night, because I am such a foodie. And if I could eat from every single food truck, I would.
So it's 5 hours. You can maybe make it like every half hour, visit a new one.
Oh, I know. I could.
Yeah.
That's like
whether
not
you
the problem.
Should is the question.
Right.
Yeah.
And whether I'll be up out of bed tomorrow.
It's fair. It's fair.
But I guess it does depend. Okay, this is how much thought I put into food. It depends on which food trucks you have.
I couldn't remember.
I would take an advanced list, and then I would make a strategy.
Oh gosh, this is getting on like Disneyland level. Yeah, like the pre-planning and where to go. We don't have fast passes. So.
I am an event planner.
This is true.
This is what I do. I would make a schedule. Like, I go here, 5 hours, right? So how many food trucks are there?
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 that are going to be there.
13.
Yeah. And last year we had 9. So it's more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is strategy. I don't, we didn't you have yet.
No.
But in my mind, I'm like, some are meat beverages, some are main foods, desserts, coffee, maybe. You have to end it out
in there.
And then put it over the course of 5 hours, because you might be able to fit more into, if it's dessert and a coffee, that's like 2 an hour or 2.5 hours.
And if you want to be real efficient, you bring a friend, both can be waiting in different lines.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get it done.
Yes.
So let's see who you have.
So we've got Aloha Dreams Espresso, which is exactly what it sounds like. They've got sweets and espresso drinks. Gino's Kettle Corn, Touch of Soul, new for us this year. From Scratch by Us, which is actually our on-campus caterer. So they're going to be doing a baked potato bar, scooped ice cream cart. So there's where you can end with Lights, NAMI Health Zone, B Trap on the Rocks with Jude and Wendy. So they're doing mocktails tonight. Julie Dogs, Mama Tina's Pizza, Art Barbecue, and Set the Bar. So we've got a whole variety of folks coming out.
Okay.
And in addition to that, the Rotary Clubs of Wenatchee Valley are going to be running our beer and wine garden. And there we've got Tap Room by Hellbent, Pair Up Cider, Eastmont Seltzer, and Weinstein has donated soda and water for us to serve. So it's going to be a whole bunch of
stuff.
Party. Yeah. And Haran Estates is going to be in the beer and wine garden. So you can grab your food, grab a charcuterie box, come back to the wine garden, hang out. We've got gorgeous weather today.
Yeah. Thank goodness, because it's been like not so great. So
it's been a little dicey.
Out of its system.
Our event coordinator has an uncanny talent for magically making sure the weather's great on our event days, but it's going to be really nice. We'll have the fountain on. We'll have Wenatchee Marriott, my school, bounce houses from Wenatchee Wild.
Oh, good for you.
We'll have picnic blankets people can buy and hang out on if they don't have one already. So yeah, it'll be really fun.
What time does it open? 3?
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 to 8. Yeah.
Dinner time.
So
what if you don't have, I mean, this is your dinner. It's like this.
It should be everyone.
Your lunch.
That's what I'm doing. I'm so hungry right now, but I'm waiting.
You don't understand. Professional foodie here.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, you've got the stress.
I know. I'm trying to educate people on how to do these events, because you don't just go into it with a full belly. This is your dinner, dessert, coffee, like hang. You guys, come on.
I know. You got to embrace your inner hobbit and just go for the multiple meals a day. Now's your time.
I know you're hungry. Just drink some water. Get some energy tea, whatever. Go to Smart Nutrition, get an energy tea, get a protein coffee, whatever you got to do. But 3's on.
It's on. They'll be open. You'll be driving down 5th Street, 9th Street, smell all the good food. So yeah, we're encouraging folks to come for the whole time or part of it. I know there's a lot of other things going on in town, such as the season, but most people will be accepting card. We encourage cash, and all the parking lots are open and all the parking's free.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Usually the events there, like would touch a truck and stuff like that. The parking is usually not a huge problem.
No. And this secret about WVC is parking on 9th Street, because we actually have, 2 different parking lots on 9th Street. And then we've got 3 parking lots on 5th. So just
not
skip 5th, go down 9th, grab a spot.
And just walk through.
Yeah. It's kind of a shorter walk even. So yeah.
There's your tips. So if you're watching the What's Up Wenatchee podcast today, there's your tip on how to. We've given you lots of tips on how to get through food truck night. This is basically your guide to food truck night right here.
It is. Yeah.
You're welcome. So you asked how I can help, but I was like, how can I help? I gave you all the answers. But
there you go.
All right, give all the details one more time.
Starts at 3, ends at 8. 13 food trucks, beer and wine garden, kids zone by Wenatchee Wild, lawn games by our athletics department. Bring cash, park on 5th or 9th Street. Parking's free. Bring the whole family.
Now, is this a fundraiser for you?
It is, yeah. So the proceeds from our beverage sales go to support the foundation, and also our sponsorships support the foundation. So this year we're looking at supporting our summer boot camp that actually just wrapped up last week. So that's for students to kind of get back in the swing of things before starting the academic year. And then we're looking at doing more outreach in local high schools and helping the college with their new strategic plan. So we want to come all across the 3-county area, Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, and really hear from people what they want to see us doing as a college.
Wow. How long is it going to take to kind of oversee and implement that?
Months.
Well,
so
I figured it was going to take a little while.
We're in the early planning phase right now, doing a lot of internal listening sessions. We're going to be doing some focus groups with community organizations. And then around the start of the year, January, February, we're going to be having a couple of public open houses both here in Wenatchee and on our OMAC campus. That way folks can just share business owner, community member, they have kiddos, what we should be doing in the next, 5-10 years.
Interesting. No, if you don't have kids of that age, or if it doesn't impact you personally, if people think about how the college actually impacts the community as a whole, but it does, whether you're using it or utilizing its services or not.
I think the most interaction people have with the college, if they don't have a student or they weren't a student, is almost every single nurse in town went through WVC.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah.
Almost every single auto tech went through WVC. So if you've ever had to go to the doctor or get blood work done or whatever, had to get your car fixed, that student probably went through WVC.
Oh my gosh, what a social impact. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Or your air conditioning, whether it's for your business or your home. And those HVAC technicians probably went through WVC. The packing sheds for our Apple industry, a lot of them went through our program. So it's a lot of the behind the scenes things that make our society function.
Make us run.
Exactly. And I know there's a lot of exciting growth coming, whether it's, Microsoft or the Diamond Foundry. So we're looking at producing techs for those industries as well. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So every time you open your smartphone, check your email, check the internet, you're using the cloud, and those are right in our backyard.
They're everywhere.
It's kind of crazy.
Well, I would like to get you back on in the near future to talk more about that. About the foundation's resources and services, and really what you're doing on the day-to-day, right? Because I don't think people really know what, and we're gonna just throw it in their face. So let's do it.
I love it.
But for tonight,
yes,
let's reiterate: 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Either it's on the 5th Street side, but
it's around the fountain at WVC.
So right in the middle.
Right smack dab in the middle. Just follow the noise. You can park on 5th or 9th. Parking's free. 13 food trucks. Proceeds support the foundation.
And we gave you tips on how to, you have to get to all 13.
Maximize your belly.
5 hours to do it. You've got mocktails, you've got espresso, you've got some mains, you've got some apps, you've got some desserts. So just spread it out.
And everyone know ice cream just fills in all the gaps with all the food you've eaten. So
Rachel Evey, thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
It's a really, really hectic day for you getting everything set, but
and I have a gift for you.
You do?
My purse as I'm scrounging around in
here. That's a cute purse.
Thanks. It's from Tumbleweed, local downtown, made from leather scraps, which is why it's so colorful.
Beautiful.
So this is a keychain that was made by our students in our machining department. So I just wanted to hand that off to you. It also doubles as a bottle opener, but it's just a neat little thing that shows off what our students can do.
That is so cool. Look at that. Says you are the key to our success.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get you back and talk about the college and the foundation more. But have fun tonight.
Thank you.
That's what I always tell everybody. Remember, have fun.
Have fun.
I know it's
going to be hard not to have fun.
Well, true. That's true.
I think food, music. What more could you want?
Beer. Yeah.
That's
too. Not my thing, but for everybody else. Yeah. All right. We'll see you soon.
Awesome.
Take care. That is tonight. Well, this actually starts this afternoon. 3 o'clock. A little over 2 hours right there at Wenatchee Valley College. It is food truck night. It does benefit the Wenatchee Valley College Foundation. You can find out more about them online, and we will get Rachel back on with us in the near future. It is quiet up in here. How are we doing? I need okay, I'm not gonna sing the rest. I already said I'm a mediocre singer, but I do have a lot to talk to you guys about today. Look at this. And try and get so you can see it a little bit. I'm gonna do it over here actually. In their metal something class. I don't know. It's so much better than anything that I could do, I think. That's why I just appreciate people. Where are my notes here? Okay. No, this is so speaking of swap meet, this past week, if Grayson, if you're still watching, when we were packing up everything for swap meet, I had these speakers that I have for the stage, and we had the covers that go over the speaker stands, go over the speakers, and Grayson had put and they weren't mine, they were Trina's, because we have the same speakers. So I had the preface of the story. Trina had given, I had to go give Trina back her speaker covers. Other than, Trina, she works for the city of Wenatchee, but she also owner and operator of a really small business called My Stoked. And I used to have her logo. I don't think I do anymore in the SPAC system, but she does little crocheted animals and different things with like faces on them, cute little characters and keychains and stuff deals, and they're just so cute. And so back when it was she did the, because he's just like in love with Virgo, and he loved this shade Grogu, and I can't like let him like have it all the time. We have to like put it away and then let him have it when he like do something special. He had like a really good day. So she was spending for my Snuggables at Swap Meet, and she had these little mushroom. I want my colors in black, white, and red. She was going to make one for my day, and I said I wanted to have, I don't know, a red drop, and that's all I really cared about, and colors. So she finished it because she was making weight. She made the all finished, but she was waiting for one part to come in the mail. And I'm like, one part in the mail. I'm like, okay, maybe she needed more yarn. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever you need, whenever it's ready, just And come back. I think so. I think you actually made it through last week's show about any dropouts, which was us. So I I was telling my birthday present how Trina made crocheted mushroom for my birthday, and I turned the speakers that I accidentally took for swap meet. So I stopped by her office yesterday and returned the speaker, and he gave me my crochet. All right, we're gonna try it again. We'll see. Just gonna keep going with it. So I was trying. I feel bad because I feel like every time I either talk to or about Trina, it's I lose my internet. So I was trying to tell you about my birthday present from Trina. I went to her office yesterday to pick up my birthday present. She crocheted me a crocheted mushroom. Because I like them. She was selling crocheted mushrooms through her small business that she makes crocheted animals and little caricatures with faces on them, which she's really good at. Her business is called My Snuggables, and she had a booth at Swap Meet. And so she was selling little crocheted mushrooms on keychains, little ones. And I had asked her for one with my brand colors, black, white, and red. And I wanted the cap to be red. And she said, it might not fit on a keychain. Do you care? I said, no. So here is a crocheted mushroom from Trina. Are you ready? How cool is that? So she said to me, she was making it and then she needed to wait because she was ordering something in the mail and needed to wait for it to come in to finish it. And I didn't know what she meant. until look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? She put lips on it. She said they're not exactly the same kind of lips as your logo, but they are awesome. Now, that's not all. But wait, there's more. This mushroom likes to, just like me, every now and then, pop it, stop. I love it so much. That is my favorite feature. Boop. So I haven't given her a name yet. But I really, really want to thank Trina Elms from the city of East Wenatchee, but also my Snuggables for making this handmade, personalized, crocheted mushroom in Darling Productions colors. It's amazing. If you're just joining us, we are broadcasting the show today from the Time Capsule that is down on Orondo Avenue. If you've never been here, it is such a cool place. The front that you can see right behind me here is a retro store. So we're not talking about newer games in the style of retro games. We're actually talking about retro games from the 80s, 70s, 90s, and and beyond. DVDs, he has a whole wall of VHS, comic books, figurines, all different kinds of things here. It's a pretty cool space. And then in the back where I'm at is an arcade event space. So they have these arcade games, which you'll be able to you might be able to hear as the show goes on. So see that arcade games, and it's all black light. It's real cool, and you can rent out the space back here, and then the second camera is facing the other side of the event space where there's like the living room couches, the old VHS TVs. And they have the photo op of the Upside Down from Stranger Things up. So you can come and get your picture taken in the Upside Down Stranger Things couch. They're ready for Halloween. So if you've ever been here, come check it out. They always got some fun stuff going on. And this is like their time of year. So we're here. They were one of our supporters, sponsors during Swap Meet. And they brought out like a mini store for the weekend, which was pretty cool. They had a lot of like Pokemon, and I saw a lot of G.I. Joe. A lot of G.I. Joes went that weekend for them. And we'd like to come down here the weekend of Rails and Ales, because they're right. Rails and Ales happens on Orondo Avenue, so we get like front row seats to Rails and Ales that weekend, which is always nice. So let me tell you a bit about the Christmas karaoke competition that's going to be coming up in November. The actual show, because part of the Numerica Performing Arts Center's Festival of Trees. I assume, I shouldn't assume actually, because some people are new around here. They've just moved here. Or maybe you just don't know, you're not into the know what's going on over at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. But the Performing Arts Center has all different kinds of things that happen throughout the year, different theater shows and musicals and plays, community-based shows from people in our community, but also traveling shows and comedians and bands and their black box shows. A lot of different things happen at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. It's a very important building, and a lot of important arts and humanity happens in that building. And it's a nonprofit organization. It's one of the bigger nonprofits in our area. However, it is a nonprofit, so it has a board, and it needs to raise funds. And its biggest fundraiser every year is the Festival of Trees. And it's like a week-long festival of trees. Well, they do a bunch of different things. So they get different entities, organizations, businesses, groups within the community to volunteer to decorate trees of different sizes, and then put gifts underneath those trees. And they're all like, they can be a small tree or a wreath, or they have these big grand trees that the bigger trees have like trips to Hawaii underneath. And then they have open public viewing. You can go and look at the trees. We did one last year. Starling Productions, Starling Podcast did one last year, and it was Our Community and Sound, and you could push buttons and listen to little pieces of different podcasts that we did. And then we put a home karaoke system underneath. It was pretty cool. And then at the end, they had an auction. They normally have an auction. They auction off all the different trees and the gifts underneath. And because all of the trees are donated by the different organizations and businesses and groups, so when they auction off the trees, it is all that money is goes right to the organization. Along with they events, and they used to do a gala. They've been adding some newer events like this. The Festival of Spirits is one of them. So it's a drinking, which doesn't include, because I don't drink. The festival is the Teddy Bear Time, which is more for sad kids doing the Teddy Bear Time. And so this last year we did a karaoke happy hour, and did all of the tips that I made and all of the money made at the bar during the karaoke happy hour was donated to the PAC for the Festival of Trees. We decided that this year we were going to make it bigger, better, and more festive with the Christmas karaoke competition. What does that mean? That means we are taking the show to the stage. We have room for 20 groups. Now, what is a group? A group is anybody 2 or more. We have room for 20 groups to register. So you register your group, you learn a karaoke routine, and then on the night of the show, you get up there, you perform your karaoke routine, and you try to raise money for the PAC. You'll also have a chance to raise money leading up to the event to try and be the highest raising group. And if you are between raising money beforehand, and we will have a live screen with a text to donate or scan to donate code. And if your group raises the most money by the end of the event, you're going to win one of our grand prizes. TBD. But I just told you that one of our grand trees has a prize of a trip to Hawaii. So it's going to be a really good prize from one of the festival's sponsors. So we'll make sure it's good. Doesn't that sound fun? Now we are going to do a rehearsal. So find some friends. It's $25. It's $25 to register your group. You pick a song. It doesn't even have to be a Christmas song. It's a karaoke competition. So whatever song you think is going to get you the most money raised, then pick that song. And then get your group together. Make a little routine. Figure out who's singing what lines, or if you're all just going to wing it, get some outfits, and then we'll have a date to do a run through. And then we're going to add lights and maybe some smoke, and we're going to do a whole show on the stage in front of people. We're going to open up the doors the night of November. What's the night? November. Let me give the right thing. 16th. November 16th. It's a Thursday. So you become the star on the stage. We'll open up the doors. People can come sit in there at the pack. And we go on. You perform. And you try and raise some money. We'll have, like I said, there'll be a big projector screen. So the text to donate and scan to donate code, and your group will have their own unique code, right? And that registration for your groups starts on Tuesday. Yeah. The 3rd. So start thinking what groups. Is it like a church group you want to get together? Your dorm friends, your people at work. That's always good because then you can help promote whatever your work is. That's going to be a lot of fun. So there is some information up right now at numericapac.org about the date of the show and when registration is going to go on sale. But just know it doesn't have to be a Christmas song. But it is a Christmas karaoke competition. I'm having a hard time with this, actually. Because none of my karaoke songs, because I am preparing a few performances to go on to give some people time, to in between some stopgaps in the show. And I don't have none of my karaoke songs that I have prepared in my 10 years of hosting karaoke are at all Christmas songs. Do not sing Christmas for some reason. I don't know. I could tell you which songs I wish I knew. Maybe I should start practicing now because they would kill it if I could do it. I want to learn Christmas rapping. You know what I'm talking about? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, somebody knows what I'm talking about. It's the girls singing, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I don't even know the words there, so there's no way I'm going to learn it in time. Man, I'm terrible at this. All right. If I could get that between now and 6 weeks from now, that would be pretty impressive. There's no way I'm getting up there and doing Baby It's Cold Outside. It's just not happening, people. I'm sorry. Okay. This past week, I took it, if you can believe it or not, if you know me, this is going to be very shocking to you. This past week, I took a half day of work on Wednesday. I hardly told anybody about this. I don't even think I told my husband I took a half day of work on Wednesday. I worked the first half of the day until about 12, maybe about quarter after 12. And then I took my cousin and my 2 nieces to Leavenworth for the day. It was not a great day weather-wise, which stunk because it was raining. But we still went, and it was like drizzling. But they had never been. Like, they're from New Jersey. Remember this? They came out here to visit from Jersey. My cousin is now wanting to move here. Yeah. But so now I'm trying to get them around to see the different parts. So I'm like, okay, the weekends get crazy, so I'm gonna take a half day. Let's go. So we went up to Leavenworth on Wednesday afternoon, and the weather wasn't great. It was kind of cold, and my niece Ray wasn't really feeling well, so we made like a half a day. But we got to see a lot of the shops. And we sat down and ate at the soup cellar, which is awesome, which was perfect for that day. It was like we each got soup in a bread bowl and scarfed it down. It was awesome. And the only downside was that it was really cloudy up in the mountains, so you can't really see. They couldn't see how tall and awesome the mountains are from that area. So yeah, that kind of was a bummer, but I got a picture and it's not loading up a computer being slow, but I could show you on my phone. That's me and my cousin in Leavenworth. We were loving it with the mountain, the cloudy mountains behind us. See what other pictures can I show you from this? Oh, guys. Okay. Oh, man. I haven't. My 18-year-old stepson now lives with us full time. He moved in on Monday. I didn't even know it was happening. You're wondering, how did I not even know? I knew it was happening. I knew he was in with us, but I didn't know it was happening on Monday. It was like Monday after work, and my husband wasn't home. And I'm like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Don't you remember? I was in Logan with all of his stuff." And I'm like, "All of his stuff?" And I'm like, "It's happening today?" He's like, "It's happening today." I'm like, "It's happening today." It doesn't really matter when it happened. He's here. He brought quarters of his belongings are black clothing, and the other quarter were toys that he saved from his childhood to give to his little brother. And so we have lots of more Legos and a life-size AT-AT from Star Wars and a castle. And he gave him these, I don't know, stuffed snakes. They're like 6 feet long. I think that's a bit, okay, maybe 4 feet long. and he gave them to Trent, and Trent just loves them. And I showed him how to kind of wrap it around him. You know, it's not going to choke him or anything. It's a stuffed because it always just unwrap. You know, he just comes over and he's like, help. And he, like, showing me and so here is Trenton with the snake wrapped around him, watching his little tablet. I tried to get all these uploaded so I could show you properly on the computer, but you know, it didn't happen that way today. Sorry. I got a snapshot of our little puggle snoozing away. She has such a gray face. Her poor little thing. She got such a gray face. Look at her. She's sleeping away. Oh, so that was my week. Oh, apart from, I wanted to show you, I did have some pictures from, look at how good this is. Doesn't that look like a milkshake? That is a meal replacement strawberry cheesecake shake from Smart Nutrition. This place, Smart Nutrition. That's where we were last week. But now I've been there. We were there 3, maybe 4 times this week. Carmen from Humblebee Collective, she goes, yeah, I spend a lot of money there. I'm like, I'm with you, girl. I'm right there with you. There, look at how good that is with just a little bit of whip on the top with some cheesecake. And it's a meal replacement shake. It's like, it's not a milkshake. It's a meal replacement shake, but it kind of tastes like a milkshake. So now I drink more of my meals than I eat. Look at that. And it's like real strawberry swirl. So I had the strawberry cheesecake meal replacement shake. I had the blueberry, it was like a blueberry cake one. And then they have like a peanut butter one. They have a few. And I like them all. But then they also have the energy teas, the strawberry lemonade energy tea. So I have a hard time. Do I want to go in and get a meal replacement, or do I want to go in and get energy? And sometimes I can do both because they have protein coffee, right? So the protein coffee allows me to get the caffeine from the coffee end of it, and then it has protein in it, so it's got like 15 grams of protein in their protein coffee. And then if you get the cafe con leche, it has a fat burner in it. So I'm like, this is why this place is my like new favorite place. So those are just a few of my pictures. Oh, I have a picture of me enjoying it here. There's me eating my meal replacement strawberry cheesecake shake the other day. So yeah, and then they also have protein donuts, and I give those, I like to give those to my son because he feels like he's getting a treat. If you don't know where they are, they're in East Wenatchee, but not far into East Wenatchee. They're right behind 7-Eleven right there off of 9th, like as soon as you come into East Wenatchee. It used to be a yoga place across from Joe's. It's now called Smart Nutrition. And they also do like fit dance Zumba classes every night, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. So you go in, you get a drink, and the class is free as long as you buy a drink that you're gonna want anyway. So check them out. Smart Nutrition. I wish I had one right now because I'm kind of hungry. 1:27 is the time. I know what picture I have to show you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I did not get a chance to show you this, but my mom's out there will relate to me. I was sitting on the couch and Trenton was walking around just playing in the playroom, and I think I got engrossed into like a text conversation and zoned out maybe 5 minutes, and came to out of my texting daze and went, Trenton, what are you doing? I couldn't see him from where I was. And so I went to go look for him. He was not in the playroom because I could see half of the playroom from where I was. And then I went, okay, well, the only other place he could be was the kitchen. So I went into the kitchen and he had climbed up onto a cocktail chair, right? Like one of those higher chairs with the back. It has a back, but it swivels. And now he can climb up on it. And had found an orange Sharpie on top of the cocktail table that we have in the kitchen. And got the urge to color with the orange Sharpie on himself and the wall and everything around him that he could for the last 3.5 minutes. That was the result. Look at the pride, the satisfaction on that little boy's face. No, he just wanted to color. He just wanted to be creative. I don't think he at all knew that he was doing anything wrong. He knows now that he did something wrong. But I don't think at the moment he knew that he was doing something wrong. And we had to deal with the Sharpie on the wall. Isopropyl alcohol, guys. If that, if you didn't know. Hashtag messy mom. I'm totally a messy mom. It was just, I mean, gosh, I am, this is my philosophy. I'm a boy mom. I had to get used to messes. I had to get used to yuck. I had to get used to snot and vomit and poop and farts and all of those things. I had to get used to mess. And as soon as I got used to literal mess in my life, it was so much easier to get used to metaphorical mess. And it was easier to get used to emotional mess. And it was easier to get used to spiritual mess in my life. And be comfortable with emotional, spiritual, physical, all that mess. That's why I am proud and not insulted about being a messy mom. We're here at the Time Capsule. They are nowhere to be found, like the owners, because they are busy. And I love that about them, that we have been here quite a few times to visit them on the podcast. And we've done, they were one of our very first interviews that we did back in season 1 when we were doing pre-recorded interviews, way before we were doing live shows. They were one of our very first pre-recorded interviews. So that's how long our relationship goes with Doug and Kayla from the Time Capsule. So they're on Rondo Avenue. You should come and check them out. Who else? What else did I do this week that I wanted to mention to everybody? Or what else do we need to talk about? This was actually kind of a weird, tough week in aspects. People know, or some of you may know, and if you don't, then I'm going to tell you. I am the campaign manager for Mike Poyer, who is running to be Wenatchee's mayor. He will be the future mayor. He will be the mayor. So he is the future mayor of Wenatchee. If you don't know about him or you want to learn more, I highly suggest it. The website that I run, I mean, this is full transparency, full disclosure, WenatcheeValley.com. So if you have a problem with the website, come to me. If you have a problem with the Facebook or the Instagram, come to me. If you have a problem with the radio ads, come to me. All right, guys? I can take it. I'm a big girl. I took this on being Mike's campaign manager because I believe in the future of this city. And I want the best for it. So when you know that your current mayor, Frank, is not going to run for re-election, and it has to pass on to somebody, you start to look around and you go, who is the next logical person that's educated and has the leadership skills and has what this city needs as far as vision and ambition and goals and stamina, right? And there's a short list. And out of that short list, you look for people who are trying to, this is me. I can't speak for anybody else. But I was having conversation with my cousin Amanda, and who is from New Jersey. She came to visit, loves it here, and now wants to move here. Right? Like she's saying, like, there is something special about this city, about this community, so much so that she wants to move here, and she wants to be able to not just move here and take from this community. She wants to give back to this community. She wants to be a functioning and thriving and giving prosperous member of our society. Like that, those are the type of people that you want to attract to move into our community, right? Like that's awesome. And so when I talk to her, I say, like, what do you think about government? And like most people, they get prickly. And they recoil from politics like I do. Like, I don't want to talk about politics. It's so divisive. It's so contrarian. It's so messy. It's so messy. I say, well, can we find what if we found somebody, or we tried to bring in leadership where those people weren't so messy, right? They weren't so divisive. They weren't so contrarian. Wouldn't that be nice? What does that look like? What does that even look like? How do you even start that process? Because we're not getting those examples, I don't think, on a national level. I don't know. Things get very contentious even on a state level, but I think on a local level we can start to initiate some change as far as some nonpartisanship and bridging the gap between people, groups, organizations, parties. Take the good, leave the bad. Take what you need and leave the rest. And I didn't know that person was Mike. I actually didn't think it was him at all because I didn't know him that well. And it wasn't until I sat down and talked with him, and it was probably 2 or 3 conversations in that I found out that he was nonpartisan. He wasn't running on a political party. He was doing that on purpose, and that he wasn't going to take that. By doing that, you automatically don't get any money from a political action committee. But he believes that there are some good in both parties, that you take what you need and leave the rest, basically. And but he's tough in the issues that he needs to be tough in, and fair and good, but good in the integrous way, and not in a way that you get walked all over. So I just knew that this could be and should be a start to maybe affecting some change, bigger change. So that's why I personally hopped on, and I said, I don't know. I don't know what I can do here, but I'm going to do it the best that I can. And there has been nothing, there's been so much, I think, constructive criticism of the process up to this point, and because people care so much about Mike becoming mayor. So with that in mind, I want to be able to give everybody else the opportunity that I've had to get to know the future mayor. So I've actually invited him to be a co-host on the What's Up Wenatchee podcast for the next month. And he had said yes. Can you believe that? So for the next month, we'll have Mike on here, the future mayor of Wenatchee, talking with the people that I talk to. We're not really going to be talking to him about politics or local government even, but he's going to be talking with our guests about what they want to know, about what we normally talk to them about. And so he'll be able to ask questions of them about their organization, and vice versa. So that should be an interesting month of shows coming up. It won't change the day or time. It'll be same thing. So keep tuned in for that. That'll still be live. We're not pre-recording anything. We're still keeping the show live. I told him that we would only do it that way. And he didn't hesitate. So that also being said, if you know or have any suggestions on who we should get on as a guest in the next 4 weeks, opposite Mike, right? This should be very strategically planned for the next month, guys. Help me out. We got to think about this. Whew. My phone is going crazy. All right. What else did I miss? We talked about Trenton. We talked about Leavenworth. Christmas karaoke competition. Mike. We talked about the mushroom. The upside down. Photo op. Food truck night. Nancy Barrett. I think we got through it all. Wow, could we have done it? Let's see, was there if there is nothing, then I don't mind ending a show early if there's no I don't just talk to talk, but I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately because next week it will be the year anniversary of my mom's death. And it has been a really busy summer with the campaign and with swap meet. And now my cousin is out here visiting, and she also lost her mom this past year. So we are close in age. We're only 2 months apart in age, and we both lost our moms. And we were just talking earlier today about, what do we want to do? How do we want to recognize it? And I feel grateful to have her here, because if she wasn't, then I would be I don't want to say alone, because I have Ryan and my son, and I have friends, but no biological family with her. And so it will be nice to have somebody that grew up with my mom around. My mom was a second mom to her mom, and my mom was like a second mom to her, and her and I were very close, like sisters, or still are. And so even having her say that, should we do something to recognize your mom, just, I don't know, made me feel seen. And it would be hard. It is hard. It would be hard for me to bring it up, hey, I want to do something for my mom, and be the one initiating that. But to have somebody else say, hey, why don't we do something? It's a different feeling, isn't it? I don't know why it makes it different, but for me, it does make it a little bit different. So I don't know what we're going to do. I had mentioned maybe there's a spot in our yard that my mom really liked, these trumpet flowers that are against our fence. And I want to maybe get a wooden bench to put there, for next spring. But maybe we can plant something there, or a little rose bush, or a tree or something. Yeah. Good with the emotions, but I'm not good with these emotions with my mom, because I'm still doing that. So it's messy days. That's, I guess, the theme of today's show is, embrace the mess of life. Whether it's a physical mess, like your kid drawing with Sharpie all over her body, or like us, our dogs are. We have one dog who's sick, and I've been real trying to nurse her back to health, and it's been difficult. But she has accidents in the house, so it's another physical of life, trying to deal with pee and poop and Sharpie and snot. And now it's coming into snot season. So there's physical mess, there's mental mess. Try and clear up that mental mess, spiritual mess, emotional mess, or get comfortable with it. I sometimes have to get comfortable in my own until you can work through it. Next week, not really sure where we're going to be at. Grayson, do you know where we're going to be at next week? I'm asking him through the ether. But we'll post about it. But Mike Poyer, future mayor of Wenatchee, will be with me for the next 4 weeks leading up to Election Day, which is November 7th. Ballots, I believe, are going to go out the week of October 9th is 16th, something like that. So just a couple of more weeks until the ballots will go out here in, if you are a Wenatchee registered voter. If you're not a registered voter, still time to get registered. I think way up until like the week of election. So you still have like a month to get registered if you're not a registered voter. Go to WenatcheeValley.com. We've got information and a link to get registered to vote. Isn't it weird? I can't even vote for Mike because I don't live in Wenatchee. I live in East Wenatchee. But he is, I'm obviously very invested. My business is in Wenatchee. I work and live, and my kid goes to daycare in Wenatchee. And obviously this is where we live, work, play. So we'll have him on. We'll get to learn a lot more about him and what he thinks about certain issues. If you want to go back, we did some podcast issues called We Have a Responsibility, and those are up on WenatcheeValley.com as well. The Christmas karaoke competition for the Numerica Performing Arts Center and the Numerica Festival of Trees, that registration opens on Tuesday. So get your group of friends together or your group of coworkers or your group from your nonprofit and figure out what song you're going to sing and get signed up. It's $25 to register, but all that money goes right to the PAC, right? It's going to be a really super fun night of karaoke performances to where the audience then donates and bids on their favorite karaoke act, and the act that raises the most money will win a super duper awesome cool prize. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna give you back your 10 minutes, and we will see you next week. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful week. You can go back and see and listen to all past episodes of What's Up Wenatchee on Spotify and Google and YouTube. Our YouTube page is oh no, Google, I'm not talking to you. YouTube is probably the best place. Are there any last comments from the Peanut Gallery before we head out of here? Checking all my screens. Nope. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody.